So the majority of the chapter here is going to be not just that signaling exists and how do signals get from one cell to another, which is what we've talked about. It's going to be more once these signals are received by a cell, how does that cell respond to it? Like, how does it cause the cell to respond? In those yeast cells, how did it cause a yeast cell to start changing its shape, actually, so that it could end up fusing with the other cell? And so we find that, first of all, every single signaling pathway is different. So what the book's going to do, we're going to take you through a whole lot of different examples of more common systems, okay? Although, again, every single one is going to be slightly different than the other. So we're going to learn some principles, basically. But the one thing that we find in most cases, there's basically three steps that are happening. The first step here in this overview is that we're going to receive the signal from another cell. They call that reception, but the signal from another place is going to hit a cell and be recognized. Here's a receptor protein that's going to receive the signal. Okay, that's the first step, receive the signal. Second step is we've got to get that signal inside the cell and passed to the place where action needs to happen. Okay, so we call that transduction, and it's just usually it's a series of molecules that are going to take the signal from the outside of the cell or from wherever the reception happened to the location of where the cell actually has to respond. Maybe it's in the nucleus, maybe it's somewhere else. Okay, but so they call that transduction. It's usually called a signal transduction pathway. Is something you're going to hear a lot or you're going to be reading a lot about. And then finally you get the response. Okay, so after we've received the signal, then we carry that signal through the cell to where action needs to happen. Then the actual action that happens is the response. Okay, so the sections coming up, basically we have a section for the reception part, a section for transduction, and a section for response. They get pretty heavy on lingo and vocabulary, but the concepts are very simple if you can just keep this in mind. Reception, receive the signal, transduction, pass it along, and then response, actually do something with the signal that came. So that's it for section 1 here. This was the overview section. This was a piece of cake. We'll get to the more intense things here in the next video.